Welcome everyone to our Week 13 NFL predictions. I'm Isaac, a depressed Panthers fan. That's Daniel, a very happy Texans fan. How's everybody doing here?
Yeah, how are you all doing? As Isaac said, I am pretty happy. Isaac, not so much. It was the first time in a while that both of our teams were on prime time, and Thursday Night Football felt like so long ago. I mean, I guess that was just less than a week ago, but there's already been a lot of action to have gone on since. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the Texans win. Obviously, I've talked a lot about it here, so I won't necessarily belabor that. But yeah, Isaac, not necessarily the same for your Panthers on Monday night, right?
Yeah, we forgot how to play call. We forgot that running the ball is a good idea. So Bryce Young decided to have some bad interceptions. Just nothing really went right for the offense in that game. It was really disappointing to see in our primetime game. First primetime game in forever, it feels like. So definitely a big letdown, but San Francisco's a good team. Our defense kept us in that game. So all in all, whole season outlook, I'm still happy. Like, we're 6-6. We're doing okay. Like, we're better than last year. We're making progress.
Yeah.
It's still tough overall. So,
I mean, honestly, at this point, the best you can hope for is just you just have a chance at a playoff game, and that's really exciting. I mean, I even feel that too. Even though my team has been to the playoffs already, I'm kind of feeling we were 0-3, and now we just have a chance to make the playoffs, especially with that defense. So no, I'm really excited about that, and yeah, I think you should be excited about your Panthers too. Just even with the loss, I think it's y'all played a good team on primetime. I think it was in San Francisco, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a pretty tough road game. But yeah, it looks like we've got a pretty exciting Week 13 ahead. Week 12 had its moments and things like that. There were just a lot of just key swing games and everything like that. A lot of just things going on. So Isaac, any thoughts about last week or this upcoming week before we get started?
Yeah, I thought last week was a pretty enjoyable slate. I didn't really have a lot change in my outlook of the league. I mean, Houston got a big win, so that definitely bumps them up for me. The Chiefs over the Colts, yeah, I picked that one, so I'm not really, nothing really changed for me for those two teams.
Yeah, I guess apparently picking the team with more wins doesn't necessarily work if the Chiefs are the other team. So I think I've learned my lesson there.
Yeah, unfortunately, record doesn't always mean everything, and we could be witnessing the beginning of the downfall for the Colts. I'm not predicting it yet, but they got a really tough schedule remaining, so it's not that improbable for them to go on a little bit of a skid and possibly even lose that division. So something to keep an eye on as we move forward. But yeah, a lot of exciting games. We got, I think, 2 or 3 overtime games. We had a big 21-point comeback for Dallas over Philadelphia. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
but
that was fun.
Overall, it felt like there was less chaos last week than normal. So it's also kind of some things became more clear for us in terms of who might have an inside track to the playoffs and who probably isn't. There's still some big question marks out there, like the Jaguars. How do they keep winning? They're probably not doing anything in the playoffs, but also they're winning. So
and they have a bye week this week, right?
Or do they? I don't.
The Titans.
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say I don't know who's. Yeah.
They have a freebie. But
yeah,
I mean, the Jaguars, you even see teams like the Dolphins, are they just going to make a run? Because I think they play the Commander. No, they play someone easy this week. And then, you've been saying, maybe they go on a little run and they're kind of they're not quite dead yet. And, even the Cowboys, they're also not dead. They just beat the Eagles. So you have some of those teams as well.
Yeah, Miami especially, though, they got such an easy schedule. I don't think they will. I also think even if they do win out, they'd still lose, or not lose, but miss out on the playoffs because it's a stacked conference. But they do have life. It probably means nothing, but they do still have life. And Dallas especially, that was one big change for me. Dallas has a lot of life. If they can pull an upset here over the Chiefs this week or the Lions next week, I think they might actually be able to make the playoffs because beyond those two games...
It's crazy to say, Cowboys have a top probably 3 to 5 receiver, and it's not CeeDee Lamb.
Right. Yeah, George Pickens is just having a monster season so far.
Absolutely crazy, yes.
It really is.
Well, do you want to dive into the games, starting with Thanksgiving?
I think we should. We got an outstanding Thanksgiving slate this year. Sure. At least on paper, it looks that way. We start off with the Packers taking on the Lions. I think this is going to be a great game. Granted, the first time these teams played this year, it was not a great game. Just not at all. It was pretty rough. The Packers won that one by double digits, pretty convincing, and convinced a lot of people they were Super Bowl contenders, and since then, they've just not really been the same. The Lions, meanwhile, have been pretty inconsistent. I mean, they got a good record, but I don't know. They're a little off at times this year. Like, they probably should have
I
lost to
mean,
the
they
Giants.
almost lost to Jameis Winston last week, and yeah,
But
there's been
also
some
with Jameis Winston, literally anything can happen in a game featuring him. So I'm
true.
trying
Yeah,
not
but
to
they're
read too
down
much
double
into it.
digits. Like, it's not necessarily inspiring.
No, it's not. And the performance by the defense in that game was rather concerning. But like, I don't know. I guess everyone has off games. I mean, the Giants also played close with the Packers the week before or 2 weeks before. So the Giants are feisty. They're probably the best 2-10 team ever. Let's be real here.
Yeah, probably up there.
But this game's really important because I think whoever wins this game, especially if it's Green Bay, has the clear edge in that division. And I know I'm saying that while Chicago sits there at the top with an 8-3 record. I think we both believe Chicago's not going to win that division.
It's a little bit of fool's gold, right? Probably.
They're a good team, beating all the teams below them, but I need to see it to believe it. We'll find out Friday when they play Philadelphia. But I do think the winner of this game probably goes on to win the division. And I've said since week 1, I believe I said it anyway. The Packers won the first game. I'm going to take the Lions in the rematch. I don't see Detroit getting swept here. It would be really impressive if Green Bay could pull that off, but I think the Lions, I think they're going to want revenge on that week 1 outcome. So I don't have any concrete reason, no, advanced analysis. I'm just going to say the Lions split the season series with Green Bay here and get the win on Thursday.
Yeah, that's very reasonable take there. And a couple of anecdotes I want to mention. Like, obviously, this is a Thanksgiving game. It'll be the first Thanksgiving game. So, like, depending on what you're doing with your families, I think normally for my family, like, we're just normally getting to our gathering and then the game is on and things like that. So that's always pretty nice as there's, like, stuffing and everything like that. But also at this time last year, if you remember, it was Lions versus Bears. And you remember what happened in that game where a certain coach didn't call a timeout when he needed to. So he thought that the timeout could carry over to the next game, but he never got to find out because he got fired. So anyway, it does go to show that the Bears have come a long way in just a year. Now, again, we can argue like 8-3 is that fool's gold or whatever, but they're an 8-3 football team. They're way improved from last year. And I was thinking it would be cool. Obviously, this is a good matchup as well. If it was Lions Bears again on Thanksgiving, I know like a repeat probably wouldn't happen, but if we saw this game, like last year's game this year, like that'd be, I mean, we will obviously, I guess, assuming they still get to play. I'm not sure exactly, like Lions versus Bears, but
yeah, they play in week 18.
Okay, yeah, so we'll get to see it, but on Thanksgiving it would be cool. But also, I think I randomly remembered that I think the Lions and Packers played 2 Thanksgivings ago, which the Packers actually won. I think they think they actually destroyed the Lions. So
yeah,
that said, I'm picking the Lions too. Similar reasoning to you. I think like they'll need revenge. It's kind of like they're going to avoid the sweep and everything like that. And it's in Detroit, so it kind of makes sense to pick the Lions to win. And while both teams have been inconsistent, I think the Packers have been a little bit more inconsistent. Like,
yeah, the Lions can at least say they've played tougher teams thus far, I believe. So
yeah, that's true. I mean, the Packers lost to they lost to the Panthers, lost to the Browns. They beat the Vikings last week, but beating 9 doesn't really, it's not really some, super. It's not really great.
It doesn't tell us anything about you just because you beat them.
It's just like, okay, you did what you're supposed to do, right? So this will be a big test for them. And as you said, you would think that the winner of this game, the division's kind of theirs to lose. I'm just gonna pick the Lions. I know the Lions have been a little bit inconsistent, but I still think they'll probably, when all said and done, be one of the better teams in the NFC. Like at least like in like the Final Four, like divisional round. And I think they have just about as good of a chance as any other team to win the NFC, besides like the Rams and like maybe the Eagles, but I think they're up there.
No, I agree. I mean, I've still got them going all the way to the Super Bowl. They're still my Super Bowl pick as of now, in good faith that they will get it together and become consistent when it matters most. Maybe that ages poorly, I don't know, but I still have a lot of faith in this Lions team, so a lot of talent there.
Yes. Well, we will be watching, as will millions upon millions of Americans and their families.
Yeah, hopefully they put forth a better performance this time than they did in week 1. But we both got the Lions, so looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Next up, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Dallas Cowboys on the second game on Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to this one a lot more than maybe we expected 2 weeks ago. Both of these teams are fighting for their playoff lives. Everyone's talking about the Chiefs fighting for their playoff lives. Everyone's really more so laughing at them and hoping they miss out, let's be honest. I I still think
Right.
that this is going to be a playoff team, and I still think they're going to go far in the playoffs because I don't trust hardly anyone in the NFL right now. So go with what has been proven in the past, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know, but the Chiefs
who knows?
got a big win over the Colts on Sunday. It required a fourth quarter comeback and an Indianapolis collapse basically, but they still got it done. They're still in good position with the upcoming schedule they have. I think they're going to be favored in every remaining game, if I'm not mistaken. So. But first, they got to take down Dallas, who's coming off just as big of a win, if not bigger, over their rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. They completed a 21-0 comeback, scoring 24 unanswered, which is ridiculous. Dallas's defense has been playing really well the past couple weeks. I know it was against the Raiders, and then the Eagles' offense that oftentimes doesn't really exist, so does it actually count? I don't know yet. We're going to find out as time goes on. I'm going to take what is probably viewed as the safe pick here, and I'm going to go with Kansas City because I do think they're just the better team. I do think, because my main concern with Dallas' defense, while that run defense is very good now after getting Quinn and Williams, I still don't love their secondary, and I still think they get burnt too often for us to really trust them. So I imagine Patrick Mahomes is going to have a pretty good day against that secondary. Rashee Rice is going to have a good day. Kelsey's probably going to do all right, contribute at least. So, and I think the Chiefs' defense can get just enough stops to win a thrilling game over the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. One other thing I did want to mention before I go into my actual pick is I wonder if the NFL did this on purpose. It's it's the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Dallas Cowboys. Probably two of the biggest brands currently in football on Thanksgiving when everyone, and it's the afternoon slate when probably everyone's already eaten and they'll just be kind of sitting on their couches and things like that. Although probably by that time my family will be doing our Turkey Bowl football game. So football for fun content question? Probably not. You don't want to see me play football, but
kind of do now.
I mean, maybe we'll get some clips out or something like that. But yeah, if I can, actually, that's not a good idea anyway. Yeah, so Chiefs, Cowboys, they're two of the biggest brands in football. So I think the NFL was kind of genius in kind of scheduling that game. And the timing is literally perfect. I mean, you have the Chiefs, who a lot of people were saying last week was a playoff game and they won, so they're back on track. And then the Cowboys, who I think a lot of us thought, even before the season, we're not going to make the playoffs or be in contention. They're looking really good. And then that win against the Eagles obviously really propelled them. And we've been talking about George Pickens is looking like a top end receiver. And yeah, I'm picking the Chiefs here too. I'm not going to go crazy and pick the Cowboys. I think they had their big upset win against the Eagles. I don't really see them defeating both of these Super Bowl teams back to back. Although they did, that'd be pretty crazy.
That would be amazing for
Cowboys fans. Yes, but I don't see them doing it twice. And I do think the Chiefs, it's kind of been a kitchen sink second half of the season for them, I think. And I think they're just going to kind of come with their game plan and everything like that. And the Cowboys, they have two really good receivers. But I think they'll either be nullified or the Chiefs will do just enough to the Chiefs defense has been playing pretty well, I think, just all things considered.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just going to pick the Chiefs here, just the save. I'd be pretty surprised if the Cowboys won.
So I wouldn't be too surprised just because maybe Dallas really is that good. I think right now they've got an average defense and an above-average offense, so I think this is a good team. But I think Kansas City matches up well with them, and I think that I just trust them more, so feels like
yeah,
the right
I can see Rashee Rice going crazy on that defense, but yeah, I think the Cowboys defense, I know they made some trades and things like that, but
that secondary, man, I'm concerned.
Yeah, no, that's very concerning for sure.
But hey, anything could happen here. I think it's going to be a good game. I hope it's going to be a good game because I'm going to be watching. My family's probably going to be watching with me, so let's hope for the best.
Yeah, well, that will be a fun one for sure, probably.
Thursday night football, the end of our Thanksgiving slate. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals and the return of Joe Burrow taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This is a big one. The Ravens just recaptured the division lead over the Steelers. They're both tied for first at 6-5, but the Ravens lead the tiebreak somehow. I don't know exactly how. I think division record probably. But yeah, the Ravens lead the division now, and the Bengals are a few games back, but Joe Burrow reportedly is coming back for this one, so could be interesting. I'm going to go with the Ravens, though. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Cincinnati pulled this off. Baltimore's offense has been really slow the past few games. They're just sleepwalking game in and game out. Lamar Jackson has not looked like his true self so far since his return from injury, so I've got some concerns there. But the Baltimore defense has been playing really well, and the offense is doing just enough when it matters. Cincinnati's offense has not looked quite as good the past couple of games, but I imagine that'll change with Joe Burrow coming back. The defense has actually quietly been playing decent the past couple of games. Not good, just better than you think. So It wouldn't surprise me if they pull the upset here. Honestly, part of me thinks they will pull the upset in one of the 2 games they play Baltimore. We'll see. I'm going to go with the home team in this one in Baltimore. I think Lamar Jackson will finally have a better game. Derrick Henry should be able to produce on the ground. And I think that the Baltimore defense will get enough stops to win what I think will be a good game on Thursday night.
Yes. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win here too. Although I knew that Joe Burrow was possibly going to come back. I didn't know if it was confirmed or whatnot, but it sounds like if he's cleared, he's going to play, which, I mean, shout out to him. Even though it's a 3-8 Bengals team, very unlikely. Even if they run the table, it seems relatively unlikely that they make a playoff game. It kind of be a miracle at that point. But shout out to Joe Burrow for just coming in and playing anyway. I'm not sure that I think we both kind of agree that really ideally he just doesn't play, just kind of just shuts it down for the rest of the season. But I mean, a football player wants to play football. Can't really blame him, right? So,
yeah, that's what he's getting paid for too. So I respect it, but hopefully it doesn't cost him anything.
But yeah, I do think when he does come back, I mean, I don't know if we probably won't see 100% Joe Burrow. So it's not like Joe Burrow coming into the game really changes my prediction. I'm gonna pick the Ravens here, just for very similar reasons. They're on a really hot streak. They're just trying to make sure they secure the division and things like that. And the Bengals defense is still horrible, absolutely putrid. And yeah, Joe Burrow will do everything he can. Hopefully he doesn't get re-injured or anything like that. But I think it'll be fun. I'm excited to see Joe Burrow back in action and everything like that. And that whole AFC North, rivalry is always fun to watch. But for this game specifically, I'll have the Ravens win as well.
Yeah, that seems like the right way to go. If the Bengals were to win, I think that's a lot more fun. I'm not going to lie. Definitely makes things more interesting for them, for Baltimore. And then Pittsburgh is still hovering there. We know they're going to get to 9-8 most likely. I will say the Bengals, though, the only way for them to still be in this thing, they have to win this game. After that, they get Buffalo and then a rematch with Baltimore a week later. So beyond that, if they win all 3 of these upcoming games, then I'd feel a lot better because they end the season with Miami, Arizona, and Cleveland. So the problem is these next 3 games are going to be pretty tough. So I mean, their season is on the line.
They just dug too much of a hole. If they had 1 or 2 more wins, you think maybe there's an outside shot, but it seems like it's just about I imagine their playoff percentage is under 1 or maybe 2 max, but probably 1.
Yeah, I think it's right at 1. I might be wrong there. No, there's an alternate timeline where Jamar Chase doesn't spit on Jalen Ramsey and he plays against New England and they win. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, imagine.
They also choked that game against the Jets, and then they choked a week later against the Bears. I think on that last minute touchdown or something. It was crazy. They've done it to themselves so far. That defense definitely has hurt them. But
yeah, for sure. By the way, according to NFL.com, the Bengals playoff probability is under 1%. So not likely.
No, they legitimately have to win out and still get help elsewhere. But it's not over till it's over. I guess. But in any case, it'll probably be a good game Thursday night. So really good Thanksgiving slate, I gotta say. Good job, NFL. You gave us a good slate, at least this time, I think.
That's true. Yeah, not bad. We'll see if the games are good, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
The Chicago Bears are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is our standalone Friday game at 2 p.m., I believe, 2 p.m. Central. I'm looking forward to this one because we're going to learn a lot about this Bears team because they've only got 3 losses, but none of their wins are really impressive. Pittsburgh is probably their best win, and I've got Pittsburgh, 19th in my rankings. I don't know where everyone else has them, but I think we all agree they're, at best, mediocre. So Chicago doesn't have that defining win this season, but they're 8-3. Philadelphia, coming off a pretty tough loss where they blew a 21-0 lead against their main rival. Yikes. Right. I'm going to say I'm taking Philadelphia here. I'm going to root for the Bears because I think that would be really cool if they could pull this upset here. Be a big win for them, but I think Philadelphia's defense is probably going to get a lot of stops against that Bears offense that has been good at times, but it does struggle more when they're facing good defenses, and Philadelphia's got one of the best in the game. No matter what happened against Dallas, that is a very good defense, so I'm going to say Philadelphia wins what should be a fairly ugly game, and I think they'll probably be able to move the ball against Chicago's defense, so I think Philadelphia wins. Again, I'm rooting for the Bears, but the Eagles ought to get this job done here.
Yes. I'm going to pick the Eagles here, too, as well. We've talked a lot about the Bears, how they're probably, they haven't really beaten anyone good. I think their best wins against the Steelers, maybe, or something like that, if I recall correctly, which just happened, right? The game actually just happened. So, Yeah, so it's not exactly, and that was a close one against the Steelers, like, for a while.
Yeah, I will say they were missing 2 linebackers and 3 players in the secondary, I think. So they were playing injured on defense, but also the Steelers started Mason Rudolph, so
That's true.
kind of cancels out.
It kind of does cancel out, but yeah, I think just ultimately, like, the Eagles, like, I know there's like kind of drama, like they blew the 21-point lead. There's been AJ Brown drama and just like people questioning the passing game and everything like that, but ultimately, more often than not, when the Eagles have played good teams, they have been out on top. I mean, they're 8-3. They are looking like a good team, and I think
they're also before that last loss. I'll say they were coming off back-to-back wins against the Packers and Lions.
That is true. Yes, I mean they've beaten some quality opponents. Now we may not enjoy the way they've done it, but they did beat some quality opponents, and I think their 8-3 is definitely way better than the Bears 8-3, and I'd be pretty surprised if the Bears won. I mean, if they do, so be it. I mean, I guess we'll kind of start to call them actually legitimate, but it'll be a big game for them. But I mean, big game for both teams because you're the Eagles. Like, you have to bounce back from that. Like, you should have had that game against Dallas. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Eagles here to win as well. Nothing new so far, and yeah, it'll be pretty fun to watch. Looking forward to it.
It probably won't be fun to watch, but what we learned from the game might be fun.
It'll be the result will be fun. Yes.
Yeah, the result probably will be fun
to dissect.
Yeah, I wouldn't look forward to watching any Eagles game based on their offense, but yeah, no. Good luck, Chicago. No. Moving on to the Sunday slate, we have the LA Rams taking on my Carolina Panthers. Daniel, why don't you just go ahead?
I mean, I will keep my analysis brief to give you the floor. I just have Rams winning. I mean, Rams look really good. Y'all are a very respectable team, don't get me wrong, but it did seem like y'all got tested against the Niners, and I know there's like poor play calling and things like that. Like, I mean, Rico Dowdle can't get more than 6 touches. Like, what are we doing, right? So like, and like, I know, like, maybe Bryce Young didn't play his best and just like, just everything like that. But to me, it just looks like, a surefire Super Bowl contender versus a middling, maybe playoff level aspiring team in the Panthers, and it's in Carolina. It's in LA, or is it in Carolina?
It's in Carolina.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a home game for y'all, so that should maybe help. But I think the Rams are good enough to have overcome that. But Isaac, why don't you attempt to give me your rationale as to how the Panthers will win this game?
Dude, I don't know. There's no rationale here because, like, look, J.C. Horn, I haven't heard if he's going to play or not. Hopefully he will, but he's in concussion protocol right now. Our best safety, Trayvon Moehrig, punched a guy, so he's suspended for this game. Great job. That's wonderful. Our replacement for J.C. Horn, Corey Thornton, a rookie, he is out for the year. So, yeah, it wasn't just a bad game on the field. We also lost some players due to injuries, so that it's pretty rough. I don't know if we'll have either of our starting linebackers available or not. We'll see. And we don't match up well, I don't believe. Like, Stafford should be able to shred our secondary. I don't know who's going to keep up with Puka Nacua. I don't know who's guarding Devontae Adams. Maybe we can stop the run game. I guess one way we could win is we stop the run game and Stafford just has an off day and he turns it over. And then our defense, we get some stops there, and then Bryce Young randomly has a good game. Maybe he acts like he's playing the faLcons again. I don't know. I'm going to take Carolina to win because I'm a homer. It is a home game for us, and we have been able to beat good teams before. We beat the Packers. I think the Packers are good.
Packers are up there, yeah.
Yeah,
not quite
we beat
level,
the Packers.
They're a good team.
Yeah, the Rams don't have a bad loss yet, and they're probably feeling really good after some really dominant results. Maybe they'll overlook us. This could be a trap game played in Carolina, so I'm going to take the home team in Carolina.
Maybe it's just the law of averages, where at some point they need to get a bad loss, and maybe this is just the week.
I mean, they do.
You don't need a rationale. You can just say, I think the Panthers score more points than the Rams.
That's what I'm going with, because I tried to come up with a rationale. I don't know where it is. Like, I just need the Rams players to have off days, and I need Bryce Young to play out of his mind again. If Dave Canales can call a good game, and Bryce Young can air it out, we can score points. If the defense can get some stops, that's one thing too.
Well, as I was mentioning when we commentated the Rams thrashing the Buccaneers, I was kind of like realizing like how great Matthew Stafford was, and it was all clinical and everything like that. So if y'all can shut him down, I'll be very impressed.
I'd be impressed too. I wouldn't understand, but I'd be impressed. I'll reiterate too something I said on one of those live streams. If we lose to the Rams, and even if it's a dominant loss too, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Obviously, it'll be disappointing, but we just saw the Rams dismantle a good Buccaneers team. They've also dismantled a good Jaguars team, and they've gotten good wins throughout the year. So this is an elite team. No matter what happens, Panthers fans, we shouldn't feel bad about it. Just we know what to expect going in, and anything better than our expectations should be good for us. So keep pounding. I'm picking my team. I hope for the best.
Yep. Keep pounding.
Next up is the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Niners obviously coming off a good win over Carolina. Well, actually not really a good win. It was pretty ugly. If you watched that game, you regretted it. Brock Purdy had a miserable day. If he has another day like that, they're probably going to go back to Mac Jones. But Christian McCaffrey continues to be outstanding. Just insane player. Happy for him. Cleveland coming off a win. Dominant win over the Raiders, although most teams who played Vegas can say the same. Myles Garrett has 18 sacks this year. Like, he's going to break the sack record. It's outstanding. Yeah. Go ahead and give him Defensive Player of the Year at this point. Let's shut him down for the year, and he still wins it, probably. I'm going to go with San Francisco here on the road to beat Cleveland. I respect that Cleveland got that win, and I will say again, Shedeur Sanders had a pretty decent debut for a rookie, and especially for a fifth-round pick at that. I also think that a quarter of his yards came on a short throw, like behind the line of scrimmage, to a running back who took it 66 yards. So try to keep things in perspective. I need to see it again for Shedeur before going, yeah, he's really good and he can win games against really good teams. There's a path here where the offense functions well like it did against Vegas because San Francisco has a very bruised and beaten defense. And of course, Cleveland's got a very good defense so they can get stops as well. There's a path here where Cleveland gets the win, but I'm going to go with the 49ers here because they're the better team. So.
Yeah, I just, like, unless I'm some huge Shedeur fanboy, I just can't really pick him to start his NFL career 2-0 against like Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh, that defense and everything like that. I know like a lot of their defensive guys are hurt. They're still like solid like as it stands, but yeah, I'm having the 49ers win this game as well. And I think you made a good point, which is that like you can box score, kind of scout Shedeur and be like, oh, it wasn't a bad game. But if like a quarter of his yards were from that like one kind of like out route or whatever, then it's like, or not out route, like wheel route maybe.
It's more like a swing pass, like it was behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, something like that. Like you got to put it in perspective. And even like with those stats, like it wasn't some great day. I mean, it was solid for a 5th round rookie.
Right.
Now, who knows why he slid all the way to the 5th round? Like obviously that was a whole other discussion, but Shedeur Sanders is a Cleveland Brown. He is starting, even though Dylan Gabriel is off concussion protocol, I believe. They're still kind of turning to Shedeur Sanders to play the game. But it'll be interesting to see him against a real NFL team. And I don't think they're going to win this one. But yeah, shout out to Myles Garrett. Not shout out to Jerry Jeudy, who basically gets the ball. He's like, whoop, whoop, and then just fumbles. So I think Broncos fans are rejoicing that they got rid of him.
That's got to be one of the stupidest plays you've ever seen, honestly. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Jerry Jeudy, what are you doing?
Up there for sure, right?
That man was out there gambling for sure.
100%, right. But I will be taking the 49ers to win this game pretty comfortably. I mean, that with that defense for the Browns, you never know. It could be weird, but it's also kind of weird. Like, I mean, Brock Purdy, like, he had a really good game against who did they play when he came back? Was it the Cardinals or was it?
It was Cardinals, yeah.
Yeah, he had a really good game against the Cardinals and had this bad game against the Panthers. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. But if he continues to play poorly, they should just bench him, honestly, I would think.
Yeah, go back to Mac. Purdy wasn't even that good against Arizona, honestly. I think I tried to make that point previously. Like, he only had 200 yards, 19 out of 26, 3 touchdowns. Like, I don't think he had the turnover issues, but like that game was out of hand very early. So he basically just had to keep it safe, you know? I don't know what's going on with Purdy, but I'm not concerned enough to where I'm going to pick the upset either.
No, me neither. I mean, they can just pound CMC all they want and probably just win that way.
Probably, you would think. But if an upset happens, good for Cleveland, good for Shedeur. It'd be a nice story for Sanders if he gets another win and plays well, but we will see.
We will see, indeed.
Next up, we've got the game of Sunday. It is the Houston Texans taking on the Indianapolis Colts in a division showdown. Daniel, it's your team. What do you think's happening here?
Yep. So a lot of variables coming to play. Obviously, we had a really good win against Buffalo. Whenever you have a really good win like that, kind of like out of nowhere, you always kind of question like how sustainable this is. Like, like a lot of people are saying like, oh, suddenly we're like contenders if we keep up this defense, and like, I mean, our defense has been good all year, but I'm just not, I don't know if we'll necessarily. I think we'll have the top defense throughout, but like. I mean, heaven forbid we have an injury to like Will Anderson or something like that. Like that would not be good. I know we still have Daniel Hunter, but I'm just kind of afraid of something like that happening. On the Colts end, they're coming off a game that they should have won against the Chiefs, but they didn't really do anything in the second half, I believe. Like I don't think they really posted any like good statistics in the second half and just allowed the Chiefs to come back and things like that. So you were mentioning, I actually don't know if this was on or off stream, but how the Colts, this could be the start of their downfall. I don't exactly know. I mean, I still think like Daniel Jones is good. Maybe not quite as good as advertised based on like the first few games, but I think he's definitely earned himself a long-term starting spot in Indianapolis. Unless they want to do a Minnesota Vikings and just he has like 2 bad games, then just see you later, right? But I don't think that's going to happen. They're not going to go back to Anthony Richardson for that. But anyway, the Colts are coming off that to where they should have beat the Chiefs, but they didn't do it. The Chiefs finally got their, just finally got their, black dark magic back. They're evening back out, whatever, they won a one-score game is what I'm trying to say. Also, what I did want to say is that gotten some comments. A really shout out to Midnight. You're awesome. But Midnight has made some comments about how I do tend to pick against my team, and I think it's a fair point. And he did say that like it could sway away some like Texans fans if like I'm always picking against us. Which like I do want to say like while now I know you're a Panthers homer, so it's a little bit different for you, but I'm actually like. I'm competitive in this pick, and so are you. I mean, you're winning, so I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm trying to win with every single pick. So every single game that I pick, I actually think is going to be the outcome. Now, I know not all of them are going to be correct, but whenever, we have Texans versus Bills and like, I pick the Bills, like I actually thought the Bills would win because I thought like Josh Allen would like play well enough against that defense. That said, I actually think the Houston Texans are going to win this game. I do think our defense has kind of come to play. We have all our guys intact, and I think we're just going to wreak enough havoc with Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is going to realize what playing a top-tier defense looks like. And, but most importantly, C.J. Stroud probably coming back. I mean, I didn't actually confirm this for sure, but I would imagine, he's still, as of a day ago, he's in concussion protocol. We'll start once cleared. So I assume CJ's playing. But if not, we have Davis Mills. He apparently can keep the boat afloat, even when playing a top-tier AFC contender. But if CJ plays, I think there are 2 possibilities. Like, one I think is going to be the case. The other I'm kind of, dreadfully hoping doesn't happen. Our offensive line did improve. Like, against Buffalo, we did not allow a sack, which is very impressive. So if CJ can just come in and just he doesn't have to be a superhero, just make all the short intermediate throws, just take what the defense gives him, things like that, I do think we can be drastically improved because no offense, but CJ Stroud is better than Davis Mills. I know there are Davis Mills worshipers out there. And I do think these 3, maybe 4 games where Davis Mills has earned him an opportunity to at least compete for a starting spot in the NFL. And we've talked about maybe the Vikings saw him in, or if there are some other teams that could use his services. But CJ Stroud is better. Now, what I'm hoping doesn't happen is CJ just plays more aggressively and is just running into sacks and things like that. But I do think it's very likely that we're 3-0 with Davis Mills, so CJ comes back. Now we're playing better teams, but I do think we'll be a better team with CJ Stroud under center. So Isaac, what's your prediction?
I'm glad you're finally picking your team against a quality opponent. I like it. I will say I think Houston will beat Indianapolis at one point this season in Week 18. I don't have it this time around. I'm going to take the Colts in this game at home. That's a big thing for me. They're at home. Yeah. They got the home field advantage. They got the home crowd. Sure. I think the Colts just put forth a good game against the Chiefs and just blew it in the fourth quarter. They led by 11 at Arrowhead. I thought that was really impressive despite blowing it in overtime. It is what it is. I think the Chiefs and Texans are fairly comparable. Houston's got the better defense. The Chiefs have the better offense. My guess is Indy is going to find a way to get to about 20 points, and it's going to be on Houston's offense to be able to come through and win them the game late. I think that Indy wins the home game here, and in Week 18, I think Houston gets revenge. So that's what I'm going with for now. So we got another swing game here in games featuring our teams.
We have another swing game. For once, it's me picking my own team and you picking what probably is going to happen. But I'm not delusional yet. I'm not there yet. But I have been saying that if we get into the playoffs, this is our best chance ever to make a Super Bowl. I don't care. We're like 9-8. We sneak in as a 7 seed or 10-7 or whatever. With that defense, like we have as good of a chance as we've ever had. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, for sure.
But either that or we miss the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, the floor is missing the playoffs, but also if you win this game, we can talk about you guys winning the division, too. Like, I think that's very possible with the schedule Indy has, and also the Jags are going to find a way to blow it anyway, so... Yeah.
You would think.
You would think.
Yeah.
I don't know how yet, but they will.
Very exciting. We'll have both Panthers and Texans on Sunday at noon, so that'll be it'll be really fun.
Next up, we've got the New Orleans Saints getting absolutely obliterated by the Miami Dolphins. Daniel?
Yeah, we can move on to the next game, but yeah, Dolphins win.
Awesome. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Jersey Jets. Why? I'm taking the Falcons in this game. I mean, they just beat the Saints, and I think the Saints are better than the Jets, so I'm just gonna say the Falcons win. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch any part of this game. Hopefully not. My gosh.
I mean, I'm glad you're picking the Falcons because I'm also picking the Falcons. I'm glad this is not a swing game that we have to pay attention to. I guess weirdly, Kirk Cousins will be 2-0 as a starter this year. But yeah, I mean, I was tempted to pick the Jets. It's in New Jersey, so I could see an upset there, but like I couldn't care less. I'm so apathetic about this game. But I think the Falcons are just a little better, and they'll just make one less mistake, I guess, and win the football game. But I mean, they have Bijan to rely on, right? I know Drake London's probably still out, right? So like,
I'm guessing, yeah.
I think so, yeah. But they have some like guys to rely on. The Jets have like just about nobody.
They got Breece Hall, but he can't do it all himself.
Right. Yeah. Well, yep. Falcons win next game.
Another bad game, probably, maybe. We got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Cardinals! Yeah, I'm going to take Tampa if Baker plays. If Baker misses this game, which I would be pretty surprised if he does, because he's a tough guy, and he's the type who's going to play through it if he can anyway, dealing with that shoulder injury. I think it's just a sprain, AC joint, something like that. Like, it's not great, but he can play through it. I think he's going to play, and Tampa will win. I think they're just the better team, and they're going to capitalize here with the Panthers taking a loss last week and then having the Rams this week. This is a good time for the Bucs to start winning games again. You know, they go through the midseason slump every year, and then they get out of it with some wins against inferior opponents, so that's usually when this starts, and I'm guessing that's going to be the case here. But if Baker misses the game and they have to go with Teddy Bridgewater, who I just don't think is good at this point, I don't think he's someone you want as your backup, I think Arizona is capable of scoring. We just saw the Tampa defense get shredded by Matthew Stafford, and then 2 weeks ago it's Josh Allen who shredded him, so this defense is not playing well right now, and Jacoby Brissett has weirdly been playing fairly well, so I could see them pulling the upset by being able to score, but also, how can you trust Arizona? The way they've lost games this year, they're the one team to lose to the Titans, so I don't trust them. I can't pick the upset.
They're absolutely reeling, right? I'm going to pick the Bucs here, too. I mean, it's probably more likely than not that Baker plays. I mean, it's weird because he had, like, a cast or not a calf. You know, he had something on his arm, so, like, that didn't look good visually. But he's a tough guy. Like, I think if Teddy Bridgewater were to play, like, you could, like, make a case, like, okay, they're just going to, like, you know, I say rely on the run, not that they have any good running backs to use them with, but, like, they could be, like, conservative, like, just, like, run the ball, just throw some short passes to like Aguka or whatever, Chris Godwin. But I think if Teddy Bridgewater plays, I'd still probably pick the Bucs to win the game. But it would definitely be a lot closer. But I also have the Bucs. I just don't like you said, the Cardinals have been reeling. I just don't really see a situation where the Cardinals are just not good this year. So Bucs win.
Yeah, that's definitely the fair way to go. Again, I'll say if Baker doesn't play, I see the path for Arizona to win, but I'm guessing he plays, and probably they win.
Yep.
So. Again, though, Go Cardinals, please help us out. We love you guys. Please upset the Bucs. Please.
Yes, go Cardinals. I definitely know what it's like rooting for the Cardinals against a division rival. I saw that game.
Oh, man.
Moving on. It looks like the Jags are actually on a bye week. My apologies. We can skip this game.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know why I put their logo up. My bad.
That's
Moving on, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Seattle Seahawks. It sounds like J.J. McTurn, the ball over, is not going to be playing in this one. I think it's going to be rookie quarterback Max Brosmer, which I'm sure he's so much better than McCarthy. No, I'm taking Seattle here, and it's a home game. They got one of the best defenses in the league this year. That offense is clicking. JSN is an absolute beast, so I don't really see how Seattle would lose this. Minnesota's got some guys on defense, so they can keep it close, but you'd have to put up points on offense, which how can I predict that? I don't know what to expect from Brosmer at quarterback, assuming he is indeed playing, but I'm not going to be the guy who says he's going to randomly break out from Minnesota and they luck out there. I'm going to say Seattle wins here, and I'm fairly confident in that.
Yeah, and like I was telling you before we recorded, like I was like, oh, well, the Seahawks have their bye. Wait, J.J. McCarthy is probably not going to play, so maybe the Vikings have a chance. But no, in all seriousness, like it is kind of funny, like, oh, J.J. McCarthy's not playing, like Max Brosnan going to break out. In reality, he was an undrafted free agent, or an undrafted free agent. Yeah, he was an undrafted free agent, and as you say, he didn't even play that good in college. So, like, the odds that he just, like, breaks out, like, the odds he has, like, a Shador type game seem very, very low. And obviously, the Seahawks are not the Raiders, so it's two entirely different stories. But I am picking the Seahawks here as well. Just no need to necessarily belabor that. But we'll see. Like, I guess the intrigue for me will be like if Max Brosmer has like a halfway not embarrassing game, do they just roll with him the rest of the way? Because I think J.J. McCarthy is done. Like, I think like any of like the we gotta see what we have like he's horrible. I think you just gotta like shut it down if Max Brosnan plays like halfway well. Now, if he doesn't, I guess he could go back to JJ. But like this year, the options aren't great. Obviously, next year they'll be looking into other guys. But yeah.
I guess that'll be interesting. I don't really know what to expect. I think the Vikings this year are doomed anyway, but will be a fun team to watch in the offseason because I'm sure they're going to be doing whatever they can to upgrade, whether it's trading for Kyler Murray. Sure, that would go well. Or pulling off a blockbuster for Joe Burrow, which I think should absolutely happen if Cincinnati lets him go. I don't see it happening, but it'd be something. They're going to do something. It'll be fun to keep up with, but for now, they're terrible.
No.
So, no.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine. No, Seattle's going to win this game. You guys can be pretty sure about that.
Yep, we can move to the next game.
In yet another amazing game, it's the Vegas Raiders taking on the LA Chargers. Gonna go with the Chargers in this one. I know they've been inconsistent. I know their offensive line barely exists at this point in time. Max Crosby might have a pretty good game here. I don't really care. How are the Raiders gonna score enough points to win this, honestly? They're gonna need at least one defensive touchdown, and even that might not be enough. So I'm gonna say the Chargers do enough on offense despite Justin Herbert nearly dying probably behind that offensive line. Chargers should be able to win this one, so yeah, I'm going with that.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chargers here too. I mean, like I think the only chance the Raiders really have is if Max Crosby literally sacks Justin Herbert every play. No, I'm actually kind of joking there. I could kind of see this as an upset watch just because like I think the Raiders fired Chip Kelly and like maybe like that's kind of like a boost for them because like I don't think Chip Kelly is any good and like you know, with the Chargers offensive line with Max Crosby, like it could get weird. Like the Chargers, like they could charger it up. Wasn't that like I know this was like a long time ago, totally different era. Wasn't that the Brandon Staley era where like the Raiders scored like 50 points on the Chargers or something like that?
It was
ugly. It's kind of crazy that game happened, but just considering it's the Raiders and everything. But I don't think we're seeing a repeat of that. I'm just gonna have the Chargers. Just a safe pick. Again, I could see upset watch, but I'm not gonna risk it here.
I mean, it is a divisional game, so legitimately anything could happen, but it's hard to feel confident in picking a Raiders game. Like, just pick against them.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. I think the Chargers will do just enough to squeak by a win if needed.
Next up, we've got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and rumor has it we may or may not be live for this one, because what else are we going to be live for, honestly? Like, all the games on Sunday are just not good, aside from the early slate.
Right.
So this actually is interesting in terms of the playoff picture, because if Pittsburgh wins, They'd be 7-5, and Buffalo would be dropped to 7-5, and Steelers would then have the tiebreak over Buffalo. I don't think it would end up mattering because it's hard to see the Steelers winning more than 9 or 10 games. So, and I think Buffalo either way is getting probably to about 11 wins. So I don't think that matters necessarily, but in the short term at least, it would be an interesting talking point. Oh, the Steelers beat the Bills at home and they have the tiebreak over them. So it's interesting there, and Pittsburgh needs to start winning games if they want to have a chance in that division, but it's not a must-win. For Buffalo, it probably is a must-win. If they drop this game, their path to the playoffs, it's still there, but if they start losing these games, like they lost last week to Houston, if they lose this one as well, then there's going to be some major concern in a deep AFC.
True.
I'm going to take Buffalo to go on the road here and get the job done. I think Allen's going to have a bounce-back day. I think he's going to do well against that Steelers secondary. Might have a mistake or two in there because sometimes that's just how he plays, but I think they'll do enough on offense, and I think the Steelers' offense will be unable to keep up. So give me Buffalo in this one. Still on track to make the playoffs, and the Steelers still on track to go 9-8.
Yes, I am picking Buffalo to win this game too. I mean, like, I know it's in Pittsburgh and like it could, and it's a relatively like tight as far as like their records and things like that. But I just don't really trust the Steelers. And I don't know. I assume Rodgers is coming back or like playing, but even like whether he does or does not, I don't think that's gonna necessarily change anything for me. But I'm gonna have the Bills win this one. I do think they kind of need to bounce back after kind of that like thrashing they took against us and things like that. So yeah, I mean, Bills win. They kind of like throw their hat back into the ring as far as like, possible outside AFC contenders. And and the Steelers just like continue to falter, but then they'll work their way back to like 9-8 somehow. So we all know it's coming.
That's just how it goes. The most predictable team in the league every year, even if they're unpredictable at times. Like they have weird games sometimes, but somehow, some way, they will be 9-8. Probably.
Yeah, they sure will. No matter who's their quarterback next year and the year after, like it's going to happen.
Sunday night football, because the NFL hates us. They could have flexed this out weeks ago and put Texans Colts here, but no, we have to watch the Commanders and the Broncos' dreadful offense. Here's how the Commanders can win. They have home field advantage. Okay, that's all. That's all I got. There's no way. There's no way at all. This is not going to be fun. This is not going to be enjoyable. Denver's defense is going to probably shut down that Washington offense for the most part. I don't believe Jaden Daniels is going to play in this game. If he does, great. They'll score more points than they would with Mariota. But I think Mariota is going to be the quarterback in this game. I don't see their offense doing a whole lot. Denver's offense is not that good, but when a not-so-good offense meets a terrible defense, it doesn't usually matter. They played Dallas earlier this year and put up 44 on that defense, which that was pre-trade deadline, so it was still a bad defense then. I think Denver is going to score some points, probably gets to at least 30 points. I'm looking for R.J. Harvey, their rookie running back, who is now the lead back there, I think, because Dobbins is out for the year. I'm looking for him to have a breakout game, and I think this is going to be ugly. So give me Denver very, very comfortably here.
Yes. Give me Denver comfortably here too. Commanders have just been reeling. Like, I know, like, I guess Jane could come back, which is absolutely crazy, just given the injury we saw just a few weeks ago. But, I know the Broncos are kind of inconsistent or whatever, but they're a really good football team. This just looks like a really good football team going to a very bad football team. And, wow, I am such a genius, aren't I? Good team, bad team.
That pretty much sums this up.
Pretty much. I mean, Broncos win. I mean, we could move on to the next game if we want to the Monday night game.
Yeah, and just for anyone who might want to make plans Sunday night, I encourage you to do so. There's no reason to watch this game.
If you have our blessing, if you want to do something Sunday night for once.
Yeah, this is one where you check the score early and then maybe check again later and go, oh, yeah, Denver's doing exactly what I thought. So,
right.
Yeah. Monday Night Football, the best 2-10 team of all time, taking on the New England Patriots. I don't know what to expect from the Giants. Like, they're feisty despite losing so many key players. Neighbors is out for the year. Scatterboot's been out for the year. I don't know if Dart's going to play in this game or not. Honestly, just for the sake of eating Jameis Winston in primetime, I kind of hope Dart is out just one more week because I really want the Jameis Winston experience on Monday Night Football. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's playing quarterback, but I do know it doesn't affect my pick. I'm going to go safe here and take the 10-2 team to beat the 2-10 team. I respect the Giants for playing all these good teams close, and they're a fun, exciting team to watch despite all the injuries, but the Patriots defense should be good enough to get some stops here, and I think that offense is probably going to do well against the Giants defense, so I think it'll probably be fairly close. I don't see it being a blowout or anything. Maybe it will be. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Patriots to win this game, though.
Yes. I do just want to say I am so excited that we are seeing a rematch of the Super Bowls in 2008 and 2012, Giants versus Patriots. But yeah, I am going to pick the Patriots to win here too. But it might be fun to watch Jameis Winston. I mean, if he can catch a receiving touchdown against the Lions, who knows what he can do in the future? But yeah, Patriots win. I mean, they'll do like just enough to win the game, but I have no other thoughts other than like, again, good team versus entertaining bad team.
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. We'll see who plays at quarterback for the Giants. I don't think it'll matter. Just it'll probably be fun, but another loss. So New York, look forward to next season, but at least we're fun this year. That's a good sign.
That's true.
Alrighty, that'll do it for our Week 13 NFL predictions. Last week I went 10-4 and Daniel went 7-7. So on the year I'm 119, 58-1. Daniel's 115, 62-1. And we've only got 2 swing games this week, so for one more week I will at least keep my lead, which I'm happy about. I'm competitive. Daniel's competitive, so this has been a lot of fun. We'll see how long I can actually hold on to that lead. Daniel, how you feeling about it?
I mean, I'm feeling good, and I'm excited about the games. The pick'em though, like it just didn't go my way last week. I mean, like it happens. Like I guess all the swing games except for the Panthers game just didn't go my way, but it happens. But as competitive as I am more looking forward to just like seeing good football played and everything like that. And we'll have Thanksgiving to enjoy. We'll have Black Friday to enjoy, and then we'll have the Sunday games, and we'll have Jameis Winston to enjoy on Monday. So,
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, and I'm really excited. I mean, some like big games. I mean, like Texans versus Colts, I think it's going to be a really big game. So I'm really, very excited. Very exciting stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm really looking forward to the Thanksgiving slate. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm not really looking forward to Sunday because I don't think there are a lot of good games. We kind of used up all the good games on Thursday, so I think it's kind of funny. We have that amazing Thursday, and then beyond that, it's just kind of bleh. I guess we'll see what happens Friday as well with Philadelphia and Chicago, but overall, it's a good slate of games, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I think some things will be made more clear this week in those games. Other things might be more blurry. I don't know. This is a weird league. Nothing really makes sense. We're trying to get a clearer picture of some of these teams, but once we think we know something, it seems like the complete opposite happens to change our minds. So I don't know where this league is going. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am looking forward to it.
The NFL this year has been something else. So it's been exciting to watch. And like I said last week, like even though like the season we're just about like almost done with the regular season, it also kind of feels like there's still a long way to go and that we have no idea what's going to happen. Like watch me say that, then it's going to be another Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But I'll be here for like a Patriots Seahawks or Patriots Rams or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I want to see some new teams in the Super Bowl. Like I'm still predicting Lions, Ravens, which yeah, I know that sounds insane, but you can go watch the Power Rankings video up on the channel if you want. I give more of in-depth explanations for my predictions there at the end. But I do hope it's some new teams. I do think we're probably trending towards something weird. Maybe it'll just be boring in the end with Chiefs Eagles. I really hope not. I don't want to watch that. Nobody wants to watch that. Not just because the Eagles are unwatchable, but because I don't want to see the same old matchups. It's been a lot of fun so far, though. I'm kind of sad that we're getting close to the end already. Good grief. You guys enjoy it while it's here because the off season is fast approaching.
Sure is, but still got some good football left to play. And yeah, I guess on that note, we'll sign it off for the Pick'em this week.
Alrighty, yeah, that'll do it for the video. Thank you everyone for watching. Please, if you enjoyed, leave a like, drop a comment, and please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the year. We got a month to go, a little over a month to go. I think we can still get there, but we need some help. We got like 97 to go, or 87 to go, sorry, last I checked. So, yeah, hopefully we can get there, and we appreciate any help we can get. But we'll sign off now. Thank you everyone who's watching. Appreciate you all. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the food, enjoy family time, and enjoy the football games. Take care.
Oh, yeah. Peace.